My name is Gustavo Turecki. I'm a professor at the Department of Psychiatry at McGill. So I'm interested in understanding how experience changes the brain. So very often people who had traumatic life experiences early on in life have difficulties regulating their mood and in interpersonal relationships. And so that's, I'm interested in understanding a little bit about the how is that happens? How is that something that happened early on in life would affect the life of these people, and in the long run, and what mechanisms? Yes, so what mechanisms in the brain change and how they are regulated? Yes, so that's an important focus of my work. The way we go about studying this is that we have access to brain tissue. So a lot of the work that I do is what we call postmortem. So we get brain tissue from individuals who died, either from suicide or died through accidents or naturally. And we study the brain tissue. Yeah? So we study these chemicals. We understand how is that the genome is regulated. Yes? And we focus on one particular mechanism that is called epigenetics. So this is what my work is focused on. One of the important findings that we've contributed to was the understanding of that early life trauma regulates a key gene that's important in how we react to stressful situations, putting these people more or making them more likely to react in a certain way when they are exposed to stress. And finally, we have also focused as well on treatment. Yes, so how is the treatment? It's likely to work. Yes, so not everybody who is treated responds the same way. Some people are treated, for instance, with antidepressants, and some respond and some others don't. So we are interested in how is the treatment changes the brain, and how is the treatment changes the regulation of genes, and why is that some people respond whereas other people don't respond. So the common denominator of all the work that we do is that we focus on what we call functional genomics. Yes, so functional genomics are what are the mechanisms that regulate actively the genes in our genome and adjust the genes to the environmental needs. Yes, so basically, if you think that our genome is, it's the same, so we are born with a set of genes, they have to be adjusted, yes, to function in a certain way to better respond to environmental needs. Yes, so this is what we study. Yes, it's how is that they are adjusted, and so either, for instance, as a response to trauma, yes, or as a response to treatment, yes, but how is that these adjustments take place? What are they? Yes, and how can they help us better understand people who are at risk of mental illness or of suicide, as well as understand mechanisms of treatment response, and therefore, contribute to identifying new avenues for treatment. My research is not immediately connected to clinical practice, but it's not far removed either. Yes, so it is related to clinical practice because it informs clinical problems. Yes, by trying to understand what is underlying, those clinical problems. Second, it's connected to clinical practice because it informs who or mechanisms of response to treatment. Yes, so those mechanisms, a better understanding, for instance, why is that a person A responds to treatment and person B doesn't, can lead us to identify, first of all, other forms of treatment, and second, identify more personalized forms of treatment. Yes?